Bibliophiles of the Internet. My name is Adriana and today I'm here to bring you my August wrap-up. August was a fantastic reading month and I can't wait to share my thoughts on all these books with you, but just a heads up, the first part of this video is going to be a lot of me redirecting you to other videos I've already done because I did review 5 of the books I read in August. So with that in mind, let's get started. The first 4 books I read in August, I read during the Booktube-a-thon, and then I did a Booktube-a-thon wrap-up, which I kind of packaged as my second episode of mini reviews, so I will link that down below. I reviewed 3 of the 4 books I read for the Booktube-a-thon in that video, and those 3 books include Saint Anything by Sarah Dessen, Freak Boy by Kristen Elizabeth Clark, and Yes Please by Amy Poehler. Also, just FYI, my August TBR challenge was to listen to an audiobook, and I fulfilled that challenge by listening to Yes Please by Amy Poehler. And the 4th book I read for the Booktube-a-thon got its own individual book review, and that was Everything Everything by Nicola Yoon. As I said, I did an entire spoiler-free video review for this book, so I will link that down below in case you want to check it out. After that, I read Walk on Earth, A Stranger by Ray Carson, and I buddy read this with Sam from Thoughts on Tomes, who is also the beautiful soul who sent me this arc, and I just had Jesse McCartney flashbacks. I actually just posted my spoiler-free video review of Walk on Earth, A Stranger, and that is there for your convenience because this book is going to be coming out very soon, so if you want to know what the story is about, if you're going to like it, what to expect, etc., etc., as I said, that video is completely spoiler-free, so I will link that down below. Simply put, I'm very excited about this new book and I can't wait for all of you to read it as well. After that, I read A Tale for the Time Being by Ruth Ozeki, and I buddy read this book with my lovely friend Ange from Beyond the Pages. Basically, this book is about a writer named Ruth who is walking along the beach one day and she comes across this Hello Kitty lunchbox, and in that lunchbox is the diary of a 16-year-old Japanese girl named Nao. Ruth, of course, reads Nao's diary and she learns that Nao started writing this document with the intention of writing her great-grandmother's life story before she herself committed suicide. I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm not going to be able to capture my feelings for this story in 30 or 40 seconds because this was not only one of the best books I read in August, but it's one of the best books I've ever read in my entire 22 years of life. Above all else, this book is extremely meta. It's very aware of language and literature and writing and how those things affect us. It examines literature and writing as a means of transportation because reading is very immediate and immersive, and when you read something, you make it real, and when you write something, you make it fictitious. It's this very interesting relationship between reader and reading material, and that's just one of the aspects of this story that was so mind-blowing. I am doing this book 0% justice right now. It is beyond words. It's so important and it's so mind-blowing. Of course, I gave A Tale for the Time Being 5 out of 5 stars. On a very different note, after that I read all 5 volumes of Orange by Takano Ishigo. Essentially, the story is about a young girl named Takamiya Naho, and she receives a letter from her future self from approximately 10 years into the future. And these letters basically say that the newest addition to Naho's group of friends, a boy named Kakeru, will be dead in 10 years. These impossible letters from Naho's future self basically catalog all of the interactions between Naho and Kakeru, and her future self is basically begging her to do these things differently, to make different choices, and to fix all of her regrets, and that maybe in the process she will find a way to save Kakeru's life and to change his fate. Y'all, I am so damn fragile about this manga series. I'm not going to be able to coherently discuss it because I feel too much and I hurt too much, and I did not expect to like this series at all. I thought it was going to be cheesy and predictable, but in the end it just destroyed me. This is just a beautiful manga series overall. There is a focus on the romantic aspect, but it's also just about platonic love and this group dynamic. There is this big group of friends, and you really see how this one person affects them all and how their love for this one person can really change everything. Now, I'm not going to claim that this series is perfect. I do think it is slightly problematic in the sense that the main character, Gakaru, is suicidal, and you can't cure suicidal tendencies or thoughts and depression with friendship, love, and good times. There should ideally be some kind of mental or professional intervention, so that did kind of bother me. But on the same token, this isn't the first manga or anime to kind of over romanticize the healing powers of friendship, and it won't be the last. And I just acknowledge that this is probably not the way that you should deal with a suicidal friend. However, with that in mind, otherwise I think it was a really strong series, and I did enjoy reading every single page. This is one of those stories that you know is going to hurt you, but you keep reading it anyways because there is something special and something true about it. So I really did enjoy this series, and I gave every single volume 4 stars or higher. After that, I read Wolf by Ryan Groden. This story is set in the 1950s in an alternate version of our world where the Axis powers were the ones who won World War II. The main character, Yale, is actually Jewish, and she spent a majority of her childhood in a concentration camp where she was experimented on, and as a result of those experiments, she can shapeshift. She can assume different appearances at will. Basically, she was able to escape the concentration camp. She became part of the resistance, and then she started her training, and now her goal and her mission is to kill Hitler. There's also a motorcycle race to the death that is involved, so that's exciting. Honestly, I don't really want to say too much about this book right now because I want to save my thoughts and do a full spoiler-free review for this book closer to the release date. What I will say is that I really enjoyed this book. It was really fast-paced, it was thrilling to read, it was exciting, there was something constantly happening, and it was really focused on a crisis of identity. So I really did enjoy it, and I can't wait to read the second book. I won't say this book is perfect or that it doesn't have its flaws, but I really did enjoy it overall, and I had a great time with it. And the last thing I read in August was These Gentle Wounds by Helene Dunbar. This is a YA contemporary novel. It's about a character named Gordy whose mother tried to kill him and the rest of his siblings by driving into a body of water. Gordy happened to be the only survivor of that incident, and now 5 years later, he's still experiencing severe bouts of PTSD in relation to that trauma, and he's living with his half-brother Kevin, and things are just really tough. Then Gordy's abusive biological father comes back into the picture, and he wants to be a part of Gordy's life, and that's something that he's simply not equipped to deal with. I have to say I was very pleasantly surprised by this book, especially because I didn't know what to expect going into it, and the start of this story is very unassuming. It's about a boy who plays hockey, and then he meets a cute girl, and you're like, okay, so what? I've read it all before, but then you learn more about his life and his home life, and then it becomes a completely different story. There was something so raw and so true about Gordy's pain that I really did connect with. I myself have never experienced PTSD, but the physical, mental, and emotional turmoil of that experience really did come through, and I think Helene Dunbar really did justice to that experience, and his pain became a tangible, living thing that I really could feel myself. Well, as I said, some aspects of the story are kind of unassuming. I think overall it's beautifully written and it's an important story. I did think the ending, while satisfying, was kind of rushed, and I didn't really buy into the romantic aspects of this story, but I think otherwise it was fantastic, and I would highly recommend this book. So I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. So those were all the books I read in August. In the comments down below, please let me know if you you have read any of the books I discussed today, or let me know what was your favorite thing that you read in August. But that is everything I had for this wrap-up video today. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed it, and I will catch you on the flip side of the page. Bye!